Alright guys, we're back in the shop. I've got a GoPro on the chest. We're gonna move some extension cords around and get some lights on this side. And then we are going to wire in some plugs. As you can see, I've already done that one, and that one. And then that one also, this one's semi, and I've got one more to put there. So the original plan was to do one on every stud, but to be honest with you, I don't think I'll ever need that type of power. Maybe. So I just said screw it, and we're gonna do one on every other stud for the most part. Pretty much what I'm doing is I skipped that first stud there, did one, skipped, did one, skipped, did one, and then that last stud doesn't get one. But since my door was there, I said screw it, skip that stud, do one, skip that stud, do one, skip that stud, do one. So there'll be 3 on each side. And then on the back wall, what I'm gonna do is it'll be 1 on each one still, and that's only because I'll have a toolbox back there, a speaker, so this will be, back wall will be majority of my power consumption, you know, back there. So, but I've got the GoPro on. I'll go over a little bit what I'm doing, and I need to check these real quick while I got this. I'm sorry if you guys can't see this really. So what I'm doing is I'm just checking the sheathing, because I thought I may have nicked it somewhat. I did, but it's kind of hard to see in there. There's a plastic wrapping on this, and then the insulation. So it's pretty thick stuff. And when I was doing this originally, I was using a pair of dikes and cutting the MCU wire. So I thought I had cut them and I didn't. I just wanted to double check. So yeah, pretty much what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start doing some commentary for this video. And then I'm gonna attempt to pretty much just set the GoPro back and let you guys see what is going on when it comes to running the bigger stuff, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I want to listen to music, so that's gonna happen. Let's see here. Caterpillar. So we need to grab one of these. Actually, I can grab 2 of them. Okay, where's the other box? Oh, there it is. I already had it over there. So it's not too bad. I've never wired anything in, and it's really not that bad at all. I figured it's gonna be a lot worse, and it's not. The thing that might suck the most is doing the actual wiring for the lights. And what I'm gonna do, you kind of see I've already done it. Let me see. So I've not wired in, but I've mounted a stud box up there. There's gonna be a stud box on every truss because the wires for the lights are almost 6 foot. So I don't want to stretch the wires and have the lights aiming a certain way. So I'm just gonna run one on every truss. I got enough boxes for it. Might as well. And then I've got to go from that box this way, then turn around and go to basically take the wire, go from there all the way on the back wall, all the way on this wall, up and around the door, and then where I'm going to mount the switches at. So, and I actually, yeah, I'll probably mount the switches. I don't know, we'll decide. I'll leave a little extra room in case I got to move them. So, let's see here. And the reason why I'm wearing gloves is this shit's pretty dirty. I don't know why it's like that. I'm assuming just because of the manufacturing process, but it gets pretty bad. Metal shavings and shit, so I'm not rubbing that shit in my eyes when I go to mess with my eyes or something later. And what I'm gonna do here, I guess I can bring this wire closer, because I got a long run to do after this. I'll just set it actually like right about here. So I'm just gonna take this wire, and I'm actually working backwards forward. And I'm going to feed it through here. And I'm running it pretty much right along this hat channel. Just making sure I've got enough length, which I do. The box will be here, and it'll come in from the top, so I'll have to actually have it. That there for now. Triple check this, double check it, I suppose. So it will actually be probably a little bit less, but here once I get some wires in there too, about that much. So I can probably come back to about here. So I'm gonna take, while I've still got a good idea where that's gonna go, one of these. And all this is just like a hold down. You're supposed to do them, I think, every 6 inches or something. And I'm just using the screws that I have left over from the sheet metal itself. Taking this gasket off of it. And we will triple check this now. Let's say that's enough wire. Maybe not enough, I don't know. I'd rather have more than less. And I'm just gonna mount this right here. That way that's added in. And the reason why I'm doing that on the top of the channels rather than in is because I just figured it would be a little bit easier if I ever had to take panels off of this building later, not having to worry about where I'm going to be running it to, because this is all going to be spray foamed. And I would rather know exactly where the hat channel is off of the last panel. So essentially just taking the panel down that I have up here now, putting a new one up, and marking the holes that are already cut, or drilled, I suppose. And then from there, you know, you fucking know exactly where it's gonna go. So it'd go in the exact same holes every single time. Okay, so now on this, I'm pretty much just leaving myself enough room for this to be straight. And then from here, I'm just kind of semi-measuring from the box in. So I would say probably about here is where I want to be in terms of everything. And for this MC wire, I know it's kind of weird. Let me see, just to triple check. So on this MC wire, you just grab it. You'll want to snap it. And I thought it was going to be a lot harder than that, but it snaps just like that. And just gonna wiggle it back and forth here. And on this one, I'm just gonna cut, if I can get to it. Come on. There it goes. So you just want to kind of twist it apart and see how it kind of left a little bit of a gap there. I didn't know that originally, so makes it a little bit easier. And then I'll just cut these wires here. Grab this wire, and then that actually leaves us quite a bit of room. So what I'm gonna do, put this up here. I'm gonna break it again, right about here. If I can see what my GoPro is doing, that would be great. And I just take it back and forth real quick, and then twist. Here's your wire. You get this little plastic piece. I'm doing snap its. I think with this sheathing, you're supposed to keep, I don't know, honestly, I think you're supposed to keep some of it and put those little red devices that are inside the MC wire pack in the cladding itself. But I am not doing that. I'm doing something a little bit untraditional, I suppose. Actually, I think this is the easier way that I'm doing it. So now, what we're gonna do, if I got some, I don't think I do over here. I do. I need to be probably a little bit more organized about this stuff, but this is the Snap It connector I'm using. As you can see, it's just pretty much like a grommet, like a snap lock. So when you push it in, the cladding can't come back. And I'll show you a little bit here. Sorry about the light, but I gotta have them, so. So what you'll do, and what I'm looking for right now is just me feeding this wire through, and I got all three already through. I'll push this down. Make sure your wires are semi-straight. You'll go down, and you kind of get like a little bit of a ledge, I suppose. So you'll hear one click, and then if you push it harder, it'll push in all the way and seat. So, and then from there, I've seen where people take channel locks or just pliers in general, and they'll essentially use this as a way of leveraging the box. So they'll grab the box with one end of the pliers and then grab behind here at this and then push it in. I mean, it's not really that hard. Yes, but not really that bad for me. So yeah, we've got our wires laid out. So this one's actually ready for a plug. Probably trim this down some, so they're about the same way. We're close to. Because I like uniformity, and that looks weird. There we go. Probably a little bit too much wire, but it is what it is. Like I said, I'd rather have too much than not enough. And I'll just go through here and tie this up a little bit later, so it's nice and pretty. I probably left myself a little too much wire. That's what I'm actually gonna do. little bit. And that's the poopier part about these is with those screws, they want to fucking hold on. So I guess what I'll do, I'll just take it all the way out. Alright, now I'll kind of see. That's about probably where I want it. Maybe give a little bit. I'll just put that back right there. Grab this same screw. Tight there. So it'll look a little bit cleaner when I go to clamp that down. Not that it really matters because it'll be spray foamed actually, so. We will grab my strippers. Where they are. I worked last night kind of late, so I was setting stuff here, there, everywhere in between. Strippers. Where are the strippers? Probably somewhere weird. I've got all these piles of dirt too, because I brought my big vac hose out. I don't have a, I can't even think of what it's called. What is it called? A dust pan. And there they are. They're blending in with the orange. I don't have a dust pan, so I just got a bigger broom for now. And a smaller one from the house, but the smaller one from the house kind of sucks. I don't know where ours is. We just vac the house, but. So I'm taking probably, 3/4 to an inch off of here, and I'll show you kind of why. I don't know if this is plug dependent or what, but, and this isn't me trying to teach you guys how to do this. I mean, if you don't know how to do it, which I don't know how to do it, you should probably get with an electrician so they can kind of show you how to do it, and then, you can kind of try. The only reason I'm trying is because both of my cousins are electricians, and one of them is going to come here and pretty much triple check all the stuff that I'm doing. Kind of came here, gave me the rundown, told me what I needed to do, and then yeah. So now that we've got that, we just need our plug, and on these plugs, oh, that's nice and dirty. That's awesome. You just take this, let me triple check to make sure you guys can see this here. So you just take this, grab this little ear here, and wiggle it back and forth. You work hard on it, drop it down, work hard on it, drop it down, rinse and repeat. And then I'll have to back these screws out too for when I go to put it in the box. I think leave that right here for now, or wherever it wants to go, I suppose. Grab this and this. So, and I found this is probably the easiest way of doing it. Dude, these get dirty quick. Jesus, why? Maybe that wasn't such a good idea. So what I do is just take my fingers, put it on this little tab on the back, spin it off, drop that, rinse, repeat. Okay, now triple check here. So what we're gonna do, I need a jumper too. And I've been using these as jumpers whenever I have too much wire, which I mean, I probably have some more over here that I could probably, I could probably fucking scavenge instead of cutting more. Yeah, I'm gonna just keep everything kind of close. So we've got this, and to be honest with you, I don't know. I think you've got a hot load. A ground, and I can't remember what the other one is called. If I remember right, the hot load will be your black. So the easiest way to show kind of what I'm going to do here, I'm going to actually backtrack here. So I'm going to cut that to the length, and then we will take this, strip this off. So, now that we're in the box, I take these greens, put them at equal distance from each other, or attempt to. Kind of like there. Here. Just have them kind of sitting flush together. Twist these bad boys on. And then when these start to actually twist the wires, kind of like what it's doing right now, you probably are good. So we got enough wire there, got enough wire there. And now the fun stuff. So grab our plug. Did I just do that backwards or what? I did. So we'll grab our plug and then take our fucking screws out, because I did it fucking backwards. I grab the other one. And then get our use off. Whatever's on that backside is kind of sharp. Now that that's done, so this is how you kind of want it to look. I'll grab that, set these up here. So you've got your black wire, and I try to push these to the side that they're going to be on. So the green is going to be on this side, because I'm putting the switches upright. The green's down here, and then I try to keep my other color-coded wires together. Seems like that's kind of the easiest way of doing it. Otherwise, you kind of start getting all, not messed up, but it starts getting weird. I'm actually going to push this back some. And then these two, I'll put this over there. Those there. And you want to take, and I don't know if all plugs are the same way. I think on certain type of wire, you can actually use these little holes here and put wire in. I don't know if you tighten them down after that. So yeah, your black's your hot wire, silver's white wire, and then your ground. So black is always going to go to gold. There's a saying for it. I'm not going to say it because this is YouTube and I'll get banned. But you could probably look it up. And, well, you can look it up and you'll find out what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter, basically going from this way. I'm going to grab here and you swing this up. I'm sorry, you can't really see very well. You swing this up and around this screw. And the way you want to do it or orientate it is the way that you're spinning this screw. So since I'm going to be spinning this screw to the right, you also want to spin that wire around it. And there's a little place on I think all switches are the same way. I don't know, don't quote me on that. But they should spin the same. Or be the same, I suppose. I don't know if I really like that, to be honest with you. I'm actually gonna see what I can do here real quick. I think that There we go. That looks better. So that way when you spin this screw, it's also spinning that wire tighter. Probably don't want it like that. So I'm just gonna take my screwdriver here. Try not to stab myself and bend it there slightly. And then this is where it starts to get a little funky. I don't know if this is easier to do some other way, but I'm gonna wrap that one too. Pull this, tighten it in the same direction once again as a wire. So you got to your blacks. And then your whites will be on this side. And yeah, see, this is where it gets kind of screwy. I don't really like it, but back that up a little bit. These wires, I'm assuming it gets worse the higher gauge you go to. Awesome. It didn't even bend. Probably should take a screwdriver or something. Yeah, see, that's why I did it that one way. I don't know. It's just a royal pain to try and get this part of the wire over. I feel like I'm gonna stab myself. So tighten this down. Yeah, I don't know if I like that whatsoever. It almost looks like it's just not under that screw, and it should be. There we go, kinda. And it pops it out as soon as I... Okay, well, see, now we get to figure out an issue together. This is what happens when I try to make things look a little bit cleaner. Things start going downhill. Love it. Yeah, no, we're not going to do this. I'm not going to sit here and deal with it. So, gonna cut that baddie off because I just nicked that wire too. And cut it off right. Here we go. Pliers. So now one of my wires is shorter. That's why I try to run probably more wire than I should. Because you get stuff like that. I'm no electrician, so I don't really know if there's a right way of, or not a right way, but any tips and, I don't know, any tricks to make this quicker than kind of what's going on here. Oh, there we go. I'm tired of that. So once again, we're going to take this wire. I'm putting it right up to that edge. I don't care. It's easier. The wire doesn't want to sit here and fight you. Put it up there. Bend it. I'll grab this. And just like that. Looks 10 times better. I just don't like how it comes off just a smidge. I guess I gotta wrap using electrical tape too, which very well might happen if he tells me to. Give me back my thing. So we got that. Now we can push this guy up and out of the way, kinda. Come back in here. Push this too. So now it's gonna be a real pain trying to get this wire on. Maybe. Bend this over here. Drop that down, pull that back, and then we will tighten her down, bud, tighten her down. You could probably use an impact on this too, but I'm not going to, because my luck I'll strip it out or something. This out too with me. It's about the same thing here. This one's a little bit, not harder, but it doesn't have that plastic. It has a little tiny metal seat, I suppose you could call it. I don't know if that's meant to put the wire here too. Huh. Well, that's awesome. I don't know how that just came out. So I can see why people don't like wire nuts now. Because that should not be a thing. The worst part about it is now, I don't know. Now my hands are all sweaty. Yeah, see, something's off here. No, that's not happening. This one's kind of mangled. I'm not even going to tolerate that right now. I'm tired of dealing with it. I honestly hate this electrical shit with a fiery passion. Oh, I think two. You can get as many as you want in red and 2 in yellow, I think. Look at this side first. This is the nicest side. What's going on here? Is it just not wanting to feed? Okay, that's a lot better. But that's kind of like what I'm talking about right there, when he comes back here and kind of checks everything out for me. I'm gonna have him just kind of check the nuts, check how everything's wired. I've been putting all these plates back on, and I'll probably pull them off when he comes here, but that way he can check nuts. He can check everything for the most part that he needs to, and then I can have some reassurance that this is done right rather than done wrong, and I should have left myself some more here. Or I suppose push this inside. This is a little bit easier to do with gloves, I can't lie. Because you can push down on that wire. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to get a little warm. What we're gonna do here is tighten this down. Tighten this down. Where's my needle nose? I'm gonna wrap this around this ground a little bit better. I don't know if this really matters, but I want this a little bit more cleaner for me. And honestly, I could probably clip some of that off. Which I might do, because I don't really like that. Looks. There we go, a little bit better. So now, the easiest way of doing this is to kind of just lift, push these wires up, in, and this one. I've got enough room here, I could just push it in. Except they don't sometimes want to go in because they're fucking bulky as fuck. I wonder, I'll probably ask him if he wants me to electrical tape those too. Yeah, so I think I have a little too much wire here. But at the same time, maybe not. When it comes to wiring in another one later, 'cause like I said, I'm doing this so I can wire in 4 at a time. There we go. Now, what must we do? Take these screws out, set them down yonder, grab this plate. So we've got plate and these little tiny like nuts, almost like castle nuts in a sense. But the screws we took out earlier on the outlet, pretty much what you do. I probably should have did this outside the box instead of shoving it in here, but you know me. Put this up here, grab this. I'll set these. Over here for now. There we go. If you get into thread, which I did, and then grab the other one, get it to thread. And this, I mean, like I said, this is definitely the harder way of doing it. I know that for sure. I know there's another easier way. There's no way that there's not an easier way to do this. I just can't believe it. That, or maybe because I don't have enough time or practice or something, or just don't know how to do it the right way. But pretty much what I'm doing is I'm just holding down my finger against that nut on the back there, and then tightening it up with the inside. Sounds good. Okay, so now we can grab the 2 screws that I just pulled out of the box. Put these semi in. Making sure I'm not cross-threading them. So that is good. So yeah, that's the gist of it. I'm not going to tidy any of this stuff up. There's really no reason to keep tidying up everything so it looks pretty, because it's all going to be foamed in anyways. Just run what I need to run and then be done. So, alright, well, I'll set the GoPro behind me and you guys can kind of watch from afar while I'm setting up, you know, the next one or whatever the case may be. So Okay, so you guys just kind of see me do a little bit of this back wall, and the reason why I left myself some room is to tie it into the box, and I probably left too much, but tied it up through here, and I'm actually going to be doing 1x3s in here also for furring. So instead of hat channel, a 1x3 going down, that way I can put plywood up. And then on these boxes, I can actually get extendo, I think they call them extended box or something like that, pushes it out another 1.5 inches. So I'll be right at plywood essentially. And then I just ran it right along the back wall here. And I'll go a little bit better, there we go. Right around the studs. And the reason why, once again, a 1x3 will put me out further than what this is. So a 1x3, you know, you got an inch, and then it'll cover up, so it'll give me some room to run wires through here so I can kind of save, because I originally thought I was going to run them up the truss all the way around, down, and then connect in, but I'll just run multiples through here so I can run another one on this stud going across stud. These wires tie into these 3 plugs. So 1, 2, and 3. And then that'll be a separate circuit. 1, 2, and 3, separate circuit. Feel safer that way. You never really know. I guess there's not much that you can do, but I mean, I have powder coating stuff. I don't know. You never know. And then the lights, I'll unplug this one real quick. That way it's a little bit easier to see. The lights, I've got that box wired in, and essentially what I'm doing is I've got one knockout, so this far knockout is going this way, and then inner knockout going this way, so pretty much I'm doing the same thing all the way down. And I kind of skipped in between these trusses, that's why I did 2 right there, 2 right there, and then skipped these, and then I'm doing 2 right here, and then I'll do 1 down there. And the reason why is because the lift will be here, so I'm trying to negate anything being out here any more than it has to be. So, I mean, we made pretty good progress. I had this piece of metal, where is it? Right there, sitting up on my box, leaned up against it, and it came down when I was running wire, came down and fucking smoked the panel. So now there's a dent there, and when you go out and look at it, I mean, it is very obvious that it's there, so that's something that I'm not very happy about, because this happens to be pretty much one of the longest panels on this building. So that's always pretty sweet. I think it's like a 16-foot panel. So if I wanted to replace it now, I have to replace it. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to. I mean, you can see it right there. Pretty obvious on camera. I don't know how it looks from the road. I guess I probably shouldn't, because if I do extend the building, you won't see it, but right now I know I can see it, and it kind of irritates me. I've just seen it somewhere first, but I got the sun in my eyes. Maybe you can't really see it very well from this side. I can see where it is, but it is, let me see. Shit, I can't see it on camera now. I can see it in person. Yeah, you can kind of see it, but not very much. But then again, the sun isn't hitting it either, so who knows what it'll look like. But I know from here, it does not look very good. So I tried pushing it back in. I don't know how you could flatten that out really, besides take a hammer to it. By hammer, I mean like a body hammer. But then your paint's gonna look like shit too. So that sucks. It sucks a lot. Don't know. It's not one thing, it's another. But yeah, other than that, I mean, that's pretty much everything in terms of what I'm doing. I'm gonna make a video, and then the rest of these I'm not gonna do on video, because it's kind of a lot to move the camera around and move the GoPro around and then do everything like that. But yeah, I mean, you guys can get the gist of it. I'm just jumping from one box. So the boxes will end down there at that light, and I actually plan on somehow, it'll probably be for this one, but when I run and do the lights here, I'll just go up round here, and then I'm gonna put another light right here, so that when these doors are up, the light actually still comes in, if that makes any sense. So yeah, other than that, looks pretty good for the most part, and the dent, so that's pretty sweet. I mean, you can see it right there. It's pretty noticeably big too. I don't know what I could do there. But all right, guys, I appreciate you, and I'll get the rest of this knocked out and start showing you guys what it's like when it's done. All right, bye.